Howdy everybody, I am Kolick and this is Oxygen Not Included. Oxygen Not Included is a game that just released on Steam about a week ago. I've been playing it, been really enjoying it, and I want to share with you some tips and tricks and stuff like that I've learned in the game because it's much of a tutorial yet because it's early release. And in fact, in most survival games, they don't like to give you a lot of tutorials. So anyway, without any further prelude, let's go ahead and get into it. It's a space survival game, so you're in the middle of an asteroid, and you're guys that gotta survive. You're just basically dumped in there, not told what's going on or anything. All right, so let's talk about traits and stuff here. On these guys, there's a bad trait and a good trait for every single person, and there's a stress response. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. There's a decor expectation. Those are also important, and a food quality thing, which isn't too relevant yet. All right, so what traits do you want to stay away from? First off, you want to stay away from, well, I really don't like the one where he just randomly falls asleep, okay? That one, to me, is not good. This one is one of the best ones, in my opinion, okay? First off, he's buffed, so he's strong, which means he's going to be able to carry more. He's more effective in combat. Not such a big deal, but carrying more is awesome. Fear of kitchens and cooking, so he can't cook. That's fine, all right? The reason why it's fine is you need only 1 or 2 cooks the entire game, all right? You don't need every duplicate, which is what they're called because they're clones, to be able to cook, all right? So this is a trait that basically only has a side effect if all of your guys can't cook, all right? So you don't want all your guys to have gastrophobia, but it's fine to have one. So basically, there are 2 traits that I like to get. Gastrophobia is definitely one. Now, he is buff, and noodle arms means he's hard to carry stuff, but he's early bird in learning. Okay, you want some guy who can research, so I like this guy. His stress response of vomiting is not so good. Then I'd have to clean it up, but you know, okay, it's not bad. Now this guy over here, he's a slow learner, but he's naturally robust, but he's also a vomiter. I'm going to kind of re-roll him. Okay, I don't like biohazard. All right, yokel is one that I really like, and yokel is going to fit well with the gastrophobia guy. So this guy, he's really good at cooking, and he can't do research. So this is a nice roll. We're going to go ahead and keep May, and we're going to call it Lamentable Dump. Oh my gosh, their names is such great. The Hole in Space. Okay, just space. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start out. Now, at the very first, you're kind of a little bit overwhelmed of what your options are here. You just basically get an alert, and then they say, okay, go do some stuff. And they go tell you a few things. Alright, so up here, they'll tell you exactly what your colony is needing. Toilets are actually like really, really important. Alright, so first thing I do is expect to scroll out. Let's take a look at your surrounding area that you can see. We have 3 areas of water. That's pretty good. We got a lot of, this has oxygen. This has oxygen. Not so much, but this has oxygen. This is a vacuum. Oxygen. We got a little carbon dioxide up here. Oxygen. So, pretty decent starting area. I could wish that this lake was a little bit bigger. Let's see. And then we have to go check and see. There's 3 important things to take a look around for at the start. All right. Where algae is, you're going to need algae. All right. So we have algae here, but not that much. Okay. There's some more algae up here. That's good. We're going to need to acquire. There's a lot of algae up here, so we're probably going to have to dig up and get that algae. Okay. Algae is very important for being able to make oxygen, right? Or for getting rid of carbon dioxide, which, just like humans, your duplicates breathe out. So we need to take a look at that. We also will need copper for, well, for our wires, for buildings, anything that's important really probably requires some copper nodes. Fortunately, there's a few pieces of copper nodes right out here. So we look like a pretty good start. We know We're going to need some copper, and that's our first priority is going to be get the copper so we can start getting stuff up for research. So we're going to have to go to east. We do get the algae as we go there. So yeah, all right. Our duplicates have started. Now, you can't build anything at the start because you don't have any minerals at all. So the first thing you do is mine out a little bit of terrain. All right. Now, I like to go ahead and may seem excessive, but I like to go ahead and queue up, and you can queue them right on top of this area, even though you're having yet to dig it out. 2 toilets. All right. Now, you may like, what? This is so I don't have to forget to make a second, because if the toilets will flood up, okay, after so many visits. So you look over here. Oh, it's just a lot of ore. Okay. Oh, we haven't got any dirt yet. All right, so we need to go get some more stuff. Where's some dirt? Dirt. There we go. Dirt will be right there. All right, so we can go ahead and make that out usable in a minute. All right, I'm speed it up. Sorry, we'll go max speed. All right, I know I like also building a few storage containers. It helps keep the place a little bit tidier. We don't have to worry about some of that stuff. Now, the interesting thing about these storage containers is their list only shows what you currently know about. So as new things get added, they won't get stored automatically. If you see a bunch of new stuff lying around the ground, it's because your storage containers aren't set to be able to pick them up. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start building some tile out here. Just like this. And the reason why I want to be able to build tile is I'm going to need to go ahead and start queuing up power. Now, to start, you only need 1 manual generator. I really recommend 2 tiny batteries, not 1. And the reason is because once you get a higher level battery, you'll be able to, it's a 2x2. So 2 tiny batteries takes the same place as 1. Queue up a research station. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and connect them all with power, just like that. Okay, so we got a little copper. We have built a toilet. We're good. Built some storage cabinets. We're going to store stuff in the storage cabinets. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. All right. Yep. Now what are we going to research first? Now, first off, this guy will automatically start charging up the batteries. The reason why you want the batteries in the first place is because you. One of my guys is entombed, huh? Okay. So, gotta watch it. They're not so smart. She jumped in a hole or something. And, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and put down a ladder. Maybe I need to deconstruct this. There we go. See? They aren't the smartest people in the world. Alright, now you have to have a complete tile section for this will actually be usable. But, alright. Well, now that I've saved my guy from actually accidentally dying. Oh, and I got a combat. Disturbed the hatch or something. And yeah, that's nice. Gives some free meat. Alright, so it automatically pauses when you go to the research screen. Now, the research screen to start with is pretty simple. This is an early alpha. Not alpha, but release. And so there's not a whole lot of depth to the tree yet. But we have 5 choices here, and the most important choice by far is going to be farming. Okay, because the reason why we want farming is this algae terrarium. Your guys emit carbon dioxide, and we need to turn that carbon dioxide back into oxygen. And to be able to do that, we want to use the algae terrarium. That's the cheapest, easiest way to do it to start. Unfortunately, it also is a little bit time intensive, which is why later on you're going to want to use mechanical devices to do this, because your duplicates will start running around a lot of time and just spend most of their time spraying the algae with water so that they can, continue to breathe, which obviously is a pretty good thing. Not breathing typically bad. Alright, so when you make sure that the right person is doing the right job, so on research, Okay. We come over here, and I have one person who's doing really good at research. That's the only person I want selected to be able to do research. Okay. That's the only person I want to be able to do cooking. And art, we're going to go ahead and just select that guy anyway, even though I don't plan to make any art yet. So make sure that we have the right person doing the right job, because right now it looks like the wrong person is doing research. And you get a big buff if the right person is doing research. So, alright, now that we got that set out, we're going to continue to go ahead and excavate this. Now, an important idea in this game is how gas works. Alright? Now I'm talking about gas as in oxygen, carbon dioxide, chlorine, hydrogen, all those sorts of gases that we normally breathe, exhale, and then produce. Alright, hydrogen is light and it floats to the top. Okay, very simple. Oxygen kind of is in the middle. Chlorine, I'm not so sure about. Natural gas seems to want to go everywhere, which we could find later. Fluid oxygen, I think, is a little bit lighter than oxygen, which is kind of odd in my opinion, but it seems like it is. And carbon dioxide likes to float down. Now, when I say hydrogen likes to float up, it likes to float up and to the left. Okay, and this is an important distinction. This means that if your roof is flat all the way across, it's going to prefer to go to the left, which means that when you want to collect hydrogen, you need this big airy place that you'd like, and then you put the gas pump at the top of it, and all the hydrogen will naturally flow up to it. Pretty cool. But it also means that your carbon dioxide is going to float down and to the right. So you want to be able to have your lower levels have the things that are going to consume the carbon dioxide, because that's where it's going to naturally head down to. As you can already see by these dark spots forming down here, my carbon dioxide is going down and to the right. Okay? Alrighty. So now we know about how those gases work. We're going to have to go ahead and we need to build it out. Now, how big should each level be? Each level, I think the optimal be is 4 tall. Alright? Now, why 4? Well, it kind of has to do with decor, okay, and polluted oxygen later on. But essentially, you can put some things up above most other things that are only 2 tall, and though some things are 3 tall, and so you can't put them above them. But you can put up things that consume fluid oxygen, or pictures and things like this to add to your decor to help keep your duplicants happy. So essentially, you want to height about 4 per level. All right. Now, over here is a really pretty bad area. A lot of chlorine. I'm not going to expand much into here, but it also forms a nice buffer. Now, down here is something I'm going to want to take a look at later. This green area is full of slime and algae. Obviously, as I said, you need algae to survive. So, we're going to have to be able to move down there eventually and pick up more slime and algae. And slime, eventually, can be converted back into algae. Alright, so we finished that research. And the second research I'd like to pick is liquid piping. Okay? And liquid piping allows me to put a pump down in these water areas, and I'll probably combine the water areas, and then I can pump the water out to feed my farms, my toilets, my showers, all that sorts of stuff that everybody likes. But first off, I got an oxygen problem. And so we have developed this cool thing that we didn't actually need technology for, but we go ahead and did it. And we're going to put up 3 of these things. Now they require power, which is an issue, because right now we are very low on power. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and tell it to dig out this one right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and set a priority of that to higher than normal. And that'll make my guy basically go ahead and do this. Now, I suggest to dig priorities of like 7 or 9 if you want them to do immediately. It's actually kind of important to be able to know what the difference is, because I'm going to set the food to 6. When I start producing food, I'm going to set it to 6, and that means it is a higher priority for normal things, and I'm going to set it to continuous production. But I'm only going to assign one guy to it, and that guy is basically going to be the food producer for the entire base, and he will be able to keep up with the entire place for a long time. before you have to put a second guy to do that. Now, there's not going to be great meals, but your duplicates don't seem to care at the moment whether they're great meals or not. Alright, so now we got some algae. We're at one. We still need some algae for that one. Low on the resources. Okay, unfortunately, no algae in this direction. So where did we spot some earlier? We spotted some earlier over here. Now the sand will collapse once you mine the square underneath it. So yeah, well, you know, I'm going to have to mine out some extra squares essentially because of that. But you know, hey, whatever. Now your duplicates are just like fall asleep right next to it. Now you're saying like, why did you do? Whoa. Okay, I got a hatch here. I'm gonna go ahead and tell my guys to attack it. Now they always appear at night, but yeah. The reason why I'm gonna do that is the hatch will randomly eat some of these resources that I haven't harvested yet, and I don't want to eat even the muck root, which is actually a food. Okay, now I'm gonna go over these things and go ahead and select all again, because over here, if you notice, I picked up two new things, and they're not going to be stored there. So I figure I don't allocate all of them at once, and then it makes it easier rather than go through each individual one and click all again. Anyway. Alright, so now I should be getting algae over here, because I harvested some. Come on, guys. Where's my algae? Alright, maybe I need to dig out some more algae, huh? Alright. We'll get there. Sooner or later, my guys will be breathing without being told to. Alright, so you're like, why did you put these on a different level? Well, okay, first off, it's because you can't put everything on one level, right? Now, I put them down here because I plan to put cots down here. And I want my oxygen producing things right next to where all my duplicates are going to fall asleep. Because, let's be honest, dying in your sleep from lack of oxygen sucks. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and build these cots up, and there we go. Now, they will automatically assign to people at night, or you can manually assign to people. There is a trait called Loud Sleeper. If you have gone ahead and got one of these guys with that trait, you can, I guess save yourself some time by going ahead and, assigning him a different cot. And that's basically all you have to do to get rid of Loud Sleeper is build him a cot that's further away from other people, and then he's good. But we're not going to bother doing that. Because I didn't pick anything about Sleeper. Now that does mean that you have to, pay attention to that and have space for that at the start, which is a little bit difficult. As you can tell, I'm pretty short on space, and I still need lots of stuff to do. All right, so we got a new duplicate. All right, so we got a Loud Sleeper, which I was just talking about. He's a quick learner, so he'd be great at researching, but we already have a good researcher. This guy is good at construction and running machines and medicine and digging. I like this guy. He's a vomiter though, which hopefully, And then this guy, yeah, so it's going to be this guy I would pick. This guy is a great artist. That could come in handy. Hopefully we can get into great artists next time, because I really like more construction guys, especially early on. And so we're going to go ahead and print that. Now, alright, we got into day 3. Anyway, so as you can see, we're producing stuff. It's going okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to level these areas. Okay, I like to make these areas all the same width. Then I'm going to build out tile here to there. And actually we'll build it there. Alright, now you may be like, why are you doing this? Alright, well, remember I said carbon dioxide falls down to the right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have a gap to the right to start. And this gap basically is where my carbon dioxide will fall. And I will put my carbon dioxide consuming devices down here. Now I'm not going to put them on the same level with the cots. Okay, and later on you can make a gas permeable tile that the carbon dioxide will naturally fall through. But this is a nice way to get that stuff going right off the bat. So I want these things to be about 5 tall, like I said before. So we're going to go ahead and plan out tile all the way out here. And then we're going to plan out tile all the way up. Cancel these builds. I'm going to uproot that. Mine these. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that tile because I'm still going to want more life. Now we do have a little bit of access to water right now, which is good because we still need water. Everybody needs water. Gotta be able to breathe. And if you notice, it takes the duplicates a little bit of time to climb down and do this. So you'd prefer to be able to knock out this level. This water is a little bit too tall. If I do that, they're going to get their feet wet. And for some reason or not, they don't like to have soggy feet. Okay? So you don't like wading around in water too much. Now, if you look down here, though, this area is not so good. However, what I like to do is make one big water reservoir. Now, I really can't do this on this map because without releasing gas here, okay, that I don't like. But I'm going to combine, my goal is to combine both these reservoirs. I'll probably tunnel into this area, build the pump, and then knock the wall out. Okay? And the reason before I want to do all that is basically so that I can have automatic. See, my guys are so dumb at times. Look, see, they entune themselves again. Alright? My guys will automatically. They'll also get stuck down here, which is why I always like to put the ladder all the way at the bottom. Definitely seen them get stuck here quite a few times. Now, one of the problems as I'm drilling down here is going to be the fact that if I get too close to here, one wall worth of sand will not stop the water from going through. It'll leak out. Same with a couple other substances. So if you're going to be trying to tunnel along the water side, you need to make sure to leave at least a 2 gap. You know, you do 2 away from it, or it will leak into your ladder area and they'll all get soggy feet. They're not liking you. Okay. So now that we've done with the soggy feet, duplicate feet here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to build out this thing down to here. And this is all algae, which is awesome because I need all this algae. And, yep. And what we're going to do is we're just going to plan to go ahead and flood this area, essentially. Okay? So we're going to plan to harvest all these plants first. Okay, and the oxalite is go ahead and produce some oxygen for us, so we're all good. Okay. So we have access to water. We're researching water piping. Oh, water piping is now researched. Liquid piping. Alright, so the next thing you want to do, we have choices here. Now the gas piping I have found is important later on, but not immediately. So generally speaking, I don't research this until 6th, 7th, 8th tech maybe sometimes. Power regulation is interesting. You get the new battery, which is cool. But really and truthfully, what you're aiming for there is trying to go get combustion and get coal. Now, coal is kind of a dirty power source. You produce carbon dioxide, but you can combat that by using over here. It's right. Water pure? No. I guess it's in not those. Alright, maybe it's in here. Wow! Where is it? Sanitation? No, no. Alright, I can't even find it, guys. Oh, there he is. Percolation. Looked everywhere but this one. Alright, so percolation. Remove the carbon dioxide from the air and produces polluted water. So to be able to do that, though, we need to dump the water. And you need liquid piping. You got to set all this stuff up later. This is a great thing. You're going to need a lot of them later on. Well, not a lot, but you're going to need them later on, but we just don't need them at the start. So I like to go for interior decor next. And the reason is because you need to stay ahead of your duplicates getting unhappy. Now, at the moment, they're all happy, hunky, and dory, mostly with the fact that they can all breathe. And they have food. But it's not going to last. Okay? In particular, I have no food source still. I'm going to have to go ahead and build one. Now, I'm going to build it right here. I'm first going to build a supercomputer. Okay, so I can start other research. And then I'm going to connect both ends to the power grid. Now, when you're looking at these things with the power grid, you'll notice the minus 120, minus 120, minus 120. You cannot have anything that exceeds 1,000 on one line. And the reason that happens is because the power in that line can only handle 1,000. So if you have more than 1,000, you end up having power problems. Now, you can develop a heavy cable that can't be concealed in your tiles, and that will handle the problem, but it's also very ugly looking, and your guys don't like it very much. So generally speaking, later on you're going to have a heavy cable that's going to run down your base or across your base, and it's going to provide the backbone of your power regulation, and then you will have branches off of it that are up to that 1K limit, so that they can power all your devices. And you're going to have quite a few, because that's definitely how the game works. You're going to need them. Otherwise, your duplicates will spend all the time in the world just working on, maintaining your plants and stuff. And, well, we've hopefully developed a little bit of sciences to understand it to get past that. Alright, guys, well, I figure this is a good place to stop this one, and hope we can help you get started here, see what this game is about, and I'll see you in the next one.